Hi, everyone. I'm Autistic Ange. This is a podcast for adults who recently found out they're autistic and are looking for other autistic people like them. Today, I wanted to talk about something that I thought this happened yesterday, but it was actually the day before. That's how much I'm still affected by this almost meltdown. Like, it wasn't even a meltdown. It was an almost meltdown, but I don't know. I still feel somewhat affected by it, but like not much. And like looking back, like it seems like such a stupid thing to nearly have a meltdown over, but like I felt like I couldn't control it. And thinking about like my meltdowns in general, if I was an ordinary person, they would always look like I would look like I am creating drama over stupid shit, or like I'm looking for attention over something that's so dumb to other people, but like it's really big to me. It really is. Like, nobody wants to have a meltdown. Like, who wants to feel like this? Nobody I have ever met. But yeah, I mean, like, meltdowns are very, very annoying. And, like, I know I did another episode on this, but, like, these are problematic for me. I mean, I don't have them as frequently as I used to, but I still have them often enough where, like, sometimes I'm like, is it a good thing that I have this awareness now? Yeah, I mean, yes, it is. But I just don't like the word meltdown. It just reminds me of like something that you would refer to a child doing. Like, I wish there was a better word to describe what this is. But, so anyways, so what happened was the other day, so like a couple episodes ago or whatever, I was talking about how like we got a dumpster. At least I think I talked about that. I don't even remember. But so like we're cleaning out the house. We're like getting rid of stuff that we don't even use anymore. We're downsizing quite a bit because like it just feels so much better not to have just shit that you don't even use that's cluttering up everything. So when I was down in the basement, like we have, this is kind of embarrassing, but I feel like everything I say I'm embarrassed about, but whatever. So we get pretty lazy. My wife likes to say we're busy, but like in my mind, I'm just lazy. We like save the water bottles. You know how like you return them and you get the money back. And I just go to the Dollar Tree and load up on like their little boxes of black trash bags, because those are what I use just for the water bottles. And like seltzer cans and stuff. And usually over the winter, we'll get a good pile going down there. Like, we drink a lot of water. But this year, it's just been building. We only went like once this year, I think. Once before to turn bottles back. So we had to make like 5 trips with our car. And I hate taking bottles back. So like I won't go by myself because I just can't do it. I feel anxious. I never know if I'm doing it. I just don't like going by myself. So what I do is like my wife will get home and she'll be like, let's take bottles back, which she did the other day. And so I go down to the basement and I bring up the different bags, and then she tries to fit them in the car. And then when we can't fit anymore, we go. And so like our neighbor happened to be going there at the same time we were. And I had brought up too many bags and I was going to take them down because we couldn't fit them in the car. And she was like, just put them in the back of mine, and because we're going there right now anyways. So I was like, okay. So we had like 20 bags. She had 4 of hers. And obviously we let her go in front of us. And, she's a nice lady. She really is. However, like, I'm already at the bottle place and I don't want to be there, but I know that my wife can't be the only one doing this forever. So like what we do is like, I'll untie the bags because I double knot them, and then hand her the bag, and then like she'll dump the bottles into the little area thing where the person takes them and counts them. Like, even doing that gives me anxiety. Like, I never know. Like, I feel like my wife just puts so many in there and it gives me anxiety. I'm like, why are you, like, filling it this high up? Like, wait for them to get through them first before you add more. You know, like, this is stupid shit. Like, why do I think this way? But anyways, so, you know, and a really bad day at the bottle return place is when you've had people bringing back some fucking beer bottles recently, and it's just clanging and loud and banging, and things are getting, it's just loud. And I hate that noise, but I won't wear headphones because, of course, I need to hear what's going on around me. This is, like, fucked up. So, anyways, I think I'm, like, just babbling, but so we go inside, and our friend goes in front of us, and we thank her for, you know, taking our extra bags and bringing them, you know, to the place for us. And so she goes to, like, to one area. I don't know what it's called. Like a dumping area. I don't fucking know. It's just this. Anyway, she went to one person. We went to another person. They were side by side. And so, like, when our friend got done with her bottles, you know, you should leave, right? Like, when you're done, we still had, like, 15 to go or something like that. We were going to be there for a while. And so I thought she was going to go, but she's the kind of person that doesn't like it being quiet. Like, I think she feels uncomfortable when there's silence, or she feels the need to just, I don't know, she's extroverted, so I know that's a big part of it. But so she just comes over and starts talking to me, and I have a hard time listening to her because of all the noise, and she's yelling in my ear, and she's not even just talking about one thing. These are like 15-second stories. Like, oh, I just went and got my car fixed. This is how much it was. And, oh, my sister's doing this, and, like, that's annoying, and, oh, like, tomorrow we're going here, and at the end of the month we're flying there, and I'm like, why the fuck are you telling me all this? Like, that's what I'm thinking. And what am I doing? I'm masking, because I am still not comfortable not masking in some areas of my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying not to be a bitch to people if I can help it. And, you know, she's never been mean to me. She's a nice lady. She just fucking talks too much, and I can't handle that. It's hard to keep up with all the other things going on. So she literally stood there with us the entire time our bottles were being counted. And she just kept talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And I was only able to get in like, oh, wow. Because that's not, I mean, that's all I was really willing to say anyways. Sorry that I'm having a hard time talking. This is not uncommon for me, especially when I'm thinking about something that gave me a lot of anxiety. But anyways, like, can you just imagine standing in this ginormous, like, bottle return place with all this noise going on around you? The sound of the machine is just so loud. And this lady is just yapping in my ear. And then, like, the other part of me is like, why is it Alicia? That's the name of my wife. I don't think I've ever said that before, which is odd. But yeah, Alicia's my wife. So she wasn't even fucking turning around or, like, trying to participate in the conversation or anything. So I'm like, why isn't she saying anything? And later she told me, well, I couldn't hear anything. It was too loud in there. Like, I guess that makes sense, but oh God. And so I'm masking, and I'm trying to filter all these noises coming in, and I'm having a hard time processing. And then I'm trying to understand what the fuck the lady is saying, my appropriate responses. I'm, like, completely aware that I'm losing my shit inside my head. I can't let this show on my face. I am, like, really trying to control myself because I do not want to have a fucking meltdown in public. No. My poor wife is the only one that gets to see them. Sorry. Really sorry. So, and you guys know how much energy especially like around our age, how much energy it just takes to keep masking. But like in that situation, I would rather have done that than had a meltdown and embarrassed myself, because no, I'm not doing that. And she's just, she's a nice lady. She just wants to talk, whatever. So like, then we get done with our bottles. She's still talking on the way out to the cars and then talking. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then finally goes to her car, and then we get in ours, and I just have to sit still. And I'm like, don't go anywhere right now. Like, I didn't know, like, how to process what just happened. I mean, like, doesn't this sound ridiculous? Maybe. Like, why do things like that have to cause me so much angst? It wasn't even an actual meltdown. I prevented it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, like I prevented it. I know what my meltdowns are like. And I've been working hard on maintaining my awareness when I'm having them or when I think I'm getting close to them, and then communicating that to Alicia so that she knows, so that she's not thinking I'm just being a bitch and taking stuff out on her when she didn't even do anything. It's just like, what is that show on Netflix? Umbrella Academy. You know that one character that Elliot Page plays where like the superpower seems to be whenever he gets like super pissed about something or feels something really intensely, it's like everything around him starts shaking, and like that's how I feel, is like if I don't contain this meltdown, that's what's going to happen. And it's scary because like it just comes out of nowhere, right? Like that's what I think happens, is this just comes out of nowhere, and it's just because there's all this sensory stuff. But in fact, my meltdowns are, yes, they happen in situations like that, but there's usually been a whole bunch of stuff that had taken place like a good week or two before that meltdown, so yeah. Here's what probably contributed to the almost meltdown I had, other than what I just described. Number one, our schedules have been crazy. The dumpster's here for another few days. When it came on Tuesday, I was like, I didn't have any work, so I was like, okay, like I can actually get some stuff done and put some shit in the dumpster and clean up a little bit. And my period had been late. Sorry, this is like TMI. I'm sorry if you don't want to. You can just click off if this is gross to you. But so my period had been late, and I had been like hoping it would like hurry up and come. And then like the dumpster head came, and I was like moving around and like getting all this exercise. And that's when it decided to just start, and the cramps. And I'm like, is this fucking happening right now? Like for real? And I felt like I was slowly withering away. Like the worse the cramps got, the less I wanted to do. Oh man, it was terrible. It was just like, really, like this is the worst timing. And then, like I haven't been sleeping very well. Like I usually don't sleep well anyways, but I really haven't been sleeping well because there's all this shit to do around the house. Plus the recliners are coming today in a couple hours. And at the beginning of the week, we had spent hours shopping for them, which was an ordeal. And not to mention, like, the people are going to come inside the house with them. Like, duh. This is normal stuff. This is normal stuff that happens all the time. People buy furniture. It gets delivered. The delivery people bring it inside the house and set it up. And I never liked that process. Like, yes, I would like them to bring it in and set it up because I don't want to do it. But then I'm stuck with people in the house. And they're not even doing anything wrong. They're just in the house. And that gives me anxiety because it's my space. I'm not one, we're just not those kinds of people that like have friends over all the time. Like even before COVID, we were not like that. We're just very private people. We don't like to entertain. We don't really like other people that much, to hang out with them on a regular basis. So yeah, so whenever like there's somebody in the house, I just turn into like, I mean, I'm normal on the outside, but they don't know what's going on the inside because I'm thinking things like, are they judging the way that the house looks or something? Or you know how like when you have animals, like the house doesn't smell bad. It doesn't. I'm not lying. It doesn't smell bad. But like, when you have animals, or like maybe when you've gone over to somebody's house who has like dogs or a couple cats or something, and there's that animal smell. It's not like you're smelling shit, but like it's very clear that there's an animal that lives there. Do you know what I mean? That's the only way I can think to describe it. So like, and when I go and like I've had those experiences and I've like, ew, it smells like animal here. I'm very sensitive with smells. So it doesn't take much to turn my insides upside down. I just assume everybody's like that when I know they're not. So, I don't want people to come in and be like, ugh, this bitch is dirty. It fucking smells in here. Like 4 cats, like really? They're not thinking these things. But I think they are. So what did I do as soon as I got up today? I went to my wax warmer and I put in the pumpkin and I put 2 of those little fuckers in there. Those little like wax squares, because that's what they're going to smell when they come in, and that will cover any sort of animal smell there may be. Because, when you're living in your house, it smells like your house. You don't smell animal. I don't know. I mean, I can just do this for hours. My mind will just take me places that I don't want to go, but if I go there, I need to figure out what to do if it ever happens. Oh, fuck, man. This is ridiculous. Other things that contributed is I'm just not used to getting this much exercise. I had mentioned before that I just don't like to exercise. I like to walk. In order to avoid having to exercise, I'm careful about what I eat, and because I don't like to exercise. I just don't. And this is the most my body has moved probably like all fucking year, because like we're going on the 4th day that this dumpster's been here. In the last 3 days, I've lucked out and not had to worry about working. So I spent my available time just going up and down the basement and in and out of the house, and then up and down stairs and like all around into the backyard, and like using muscles that like I really don't even have, and it feels nice in a way. Like it feels nice to get the exercise, because like, I just feel better. You know what it's like when you move your body. Like that's why people tell you to do it, but I don't really like to do it. But so there's been benefits there. But then on the other hand, like, I'm very sensitive to pain too. So like I feel every single bruise and ache, and I just sound like I'm complaining a lot, but I'm just telling you, this is just what's going on. And my dentist appointment is next week, and of course I started thinking about that on Monday because the appointment's next week, so I have to prepare myself for this appointment. And I wish I didn't have to, but that's what I have to do to even get myself to keep the appointment, because I usually reschedule the dentist appointment and I push it like a month or 2 out. I don't know why these people haven't figured out my pattern yet, because I do it all the time and I really want to do it this time, but my wife is like, no, you really need to go to your appointment and just get it done with, which she's right. So I feel very thrown off. And you know what it's like when like you have your routines, you have your day set up the way that you want it to, so that you avoid having to deal with these things. I don't know, like I wish that this stuff, which is so simple, didn't feel so big to me. But on the other hand, I have to accept that this is just how I operate. This is how I've been my entire life. I don't know that that's going to change, but I do know that with my awareness, I'm not going to squander it. Like, I can figure out better ways to cope. You know, even like just knowing that you're autistic and that that's what these are, like meltdowns or like almost meltdowns, like just having that information brings such comfort and peace to me because I have that answer. I know what the fuck that is. That is what I've been trying to figure out this entire year because my emotions have been all over the place. So that in itself is a huge, huge relief. And I know I say this a lot, but it just is. You guys know, you go so many years before you figure this thing out, and just puts everything into perspective, and it makes you feel just grateful that like you didn't go your entire life without this vital piece of information. This reminds me, let me like look something up real quick. I don't know why this reminds me of this, but I just found this podcast and I want to share what it is so you guys can go listen to it. What is it? Is this it? Yeah, so it's called Being Autistic. You know, BEING, Being Autistic. I don't know, like if that comes across clearly if I don't spell it. But anyways, it's this 50-year-old lady that was recently diagnosed with autism, and it looks like she just started hers about a month ago. So there's like a handful of episodes. They're really good episodes. Like, I relate a lot to what she shares, and you know, like, because what happens is, like, I got done with, like, one of the other autism podcasts I was listening to. I'm still wanting to find people. I'm not done with that part yet where I want to keep finding people. And I know that the information is a lot of, like, we all talk about meltdowns. We all talk about this. We all talk about that. But, like, you know, the experiences and the individual thoughts around these experiences are so different. And, like, with her, I heard a lot of stuff that I didn't hear from other people, so it's just even more validating. But, you know, it took me a good 45 minutes to find this because it was, like, hidden in between the ones with all the therapists that don't have autism, you know, the boring ones. So go check that one out. Her name is Shelly, I think it says. I think her name is Sherry. It's one of those, I think, but it's really, really good. I hope she keeps doing episodes, and thank you for listening. I'm sorry if this was like super rambly. I just had to get this out, and I feel a little bit better now. I feel happy that like I staved off a meltdown. Yeah, so that's all I've got for now. Hopefully you guys related. Yeah. Okay, goodbye. Well, no. Did I say thanks for listening? Oh my God. Is this how my day is going to go? Okay, well, this was just me recording into an app on my phone, hoping people find me and listen and relate, maybe have a similar experience to what I had when I heard myself in somebody else's podcast, and I felt like they were talking to me. So, thank you, and I hope you guys have a good weekend, and goodbye.